The Bible is an ancient story, and it tells the relationship of God with his people from the dawn of time to the end of all times. And as we read that story, we discover more about who God is and who God will be. And as we continue to do that, we discover that we ourselves are shaped by that story.
At a moment of great tragedy in our lives, when our daughter was dying, and we were praying together in sort of agony and desperation, really, my wife and I. Our daughter Joanna, when she died in a car crash, and she died some days later. As we were praying, the verse that kept coming to mind was Romans, the Epistle to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. In every circumstance, every time, the whole time, always, God works for the good of those who love him. Not he makes it all come out okay, but in all circumstances, he's working. And it gave us, God spoke to us, he gave us through that verse, it gave us a sense of trust without seeing, of faith, which we saw borne out in the years that followed.
A book is a light because it helps us to see better. It helps us to see what we are to do and how we're to do it. And I remember when I first started reading the Bible for the first time, it was when I was at confirmation classes and the vicar suggested that I should go away and read Mark's Gospel. What I discovered was a book that brought immense energy to the witness to Jesus. And that enabled me to see that Christian faith was something that also brought life and engagement with what was going on around us.
Take this morning. I was reading the 53rd chapter of Isaiah. I've been reading that for a few days, meditating on it, thinking about it. And it spoke profoundly to me, that passage this morning, of God's love for me, but also of my need for a holy response to that love. And that got me thinking about one or two things in my life, 200 things in my life that need a good deal of sorting out.
So, Stephen, have you ever had one of those experiences where the Bible sheds light for you on your life?
Yes, I have. I wasn't brought up going to church, so there was no church. I'm sure we probably had a Bible in the house, but if we did, I'd never read it. There was a day when I thought, I'm going to pick up this Bible and I'm going to read it. And I did that kind of classic thing, having never read it before, of just kind of opening it fairly randomly and see what I got. Well, I opened it at the book of James, the letter of James, which, as you'll know, is in many ways politically, from a kind of social point of view, the most radical book in the New Testament. And I think for the first time it showed me that the Christian faith really was about the whole of life. And I suppose I wanted to then go and tell people, have you read this book? It was a converting experience. And I suppose it was a time when I found those bits of me which were concerned for peace and justice, I found it in the scriptures.